Andrea del Sarto by Robert Browning. But do not let us quarrel anymore. No, my Lucrezia, bear with me for once. Sit down, and all shall happen as you wish. You turn your face, but does it bring your heart? I will work then for your friend's friend, never fear. Treat his own subject after his own way. Fix his own time, accept to his own price, and shut the money into this small hand. When next it takes mine, will it tenderly? Oh, I will content him, but tomorrow, love. I often am much earlier than you think, this evening more than usual, and it seems. As if forgive now, should you let me sit here by the window with your hand in mine and look a half hour forth on Fijoli, both of one minds as married people use. Quietly the evening through, I might get up tomorrow to my work, cheerful and fresh as ever. Let us try tomorrow how you shall be glad for this. Your soft hand is a omen of itself, and mine the man's buried breast she curls inside. Do not count the time lost, neither you must serve. For each of the five pictures we require, it saves a model. So keep looking so my serpentine beauty rounds on rounds. How could you ever break those perfect ears? Even to put the pearl there, oh so sweet. My face, my moan, my everybody's moan, which everybody looks on and calls his, and I suppose is looked on by in turn. While she looks no one's very dear, no less. You smile. Why, there's my picture ready made. There's what we painters call our harmony. A common grayness silvers everything, all in a twilight, you and I alike. You at the point of your first pride in me. You at the point of your first pride in me, that's gone, you know, but I at every point, my youth, my hope, my art being all toned down to yonder sober pleasant Fajoli. There's the bell clinking from the chapel top, the length of convent wall across the way, holds the tree sapphire huddled more inside, the last monk leaves the garden, days decrease, and autumn grows autumn in everything. I, the whole seems to fall into a shape, as if I saw alike my work and self, and all that I was born to be and do. And all that I was born to be and do, a twilight peace, love, we are in God's hand. How strange now looks the life He makes us lead. So free we seem, so fettered fast we are. I feel He laid the fetter, let it lie. This chamber, for example, turn your head. All that's behind us, you do not understand nor care to understand about my art, but you can hear at last when people speak, and that cartoon the second from the door, it is the thing love. So much things should be, behold, Madonna, I am bold to say I can do with my pencil what I know, what I see, what at bottom of my heart. I wish for if I ever wish so deep, do easily too when I say perfectly. I do not boast, perhaps yourself are judge, who listened to the legate talk last week, and just as much they used to say in France. At any rate, 'tis easy all of it, no escapes first, no studies that long past. I do what many dream of all their lives. Dream, strive to do, and agonize to do, and fall in doing. I could count 20 such on twist your fingers and not leave this town. Who strive, you do not know how the others strive. To paint a little thing like that you smeared, carelessly passing with your robes afloat, yet do much less, so much less, someone says, I know his name no matter, so much less. While less is more Lucrezia, I am just. There burns a truer light of God in them, in their vexed, betting stuffed and stop up brain. Heart or what are else then goes on to prompt this low pulsed forthright craftsman's hand of mine. Their works drop groundward but themselves, I know, reach many a time a heaven that's shut to me. Enter and take their place there sure enough, thou they come back and cannot tell the world. My works are nearer heaven, but I sit here, the sudden blood of this man. At a word, praise them, it boils, or blame them, it boils too. I painting from myself and to myself. Know what I do. Am unmoved by men's blame or their praise either. Somebody remarks, Morello's outline there is wrongly traced. His hue mistaken, what of that? Or else, rightly traced and well ordered, what of that? Speak as they please. What does the mountain care? Ah, but a man's race should exceed his grasp. Or what's a heaven for? All is silver grey, placid and perfect with my art. The odds, I know both what I want and what might gain, and yet how profitless to know to sigh. Had I been to another and myself, our head would have well locked the world, no doubt. Yonder's a work now of that famous youth, the Arbinate, who died 5 years ago. 'Tis copied, George Vasari sent it me. Well, I can fancy how he did it all, pouring his soul with kings and popes to see, racing that heaven might so replenish him above and through his art, for it gives away that arms is wrongly put and there again. That arm is wrongly put and there again, a fault to pardon in the drawing's lines. Its body, so to speak, its soul is right. He means right, that a child may understand still what an arm, and I could alter it. But all the play, the insight, and the stretch out of me, and wherefore out? Had you enjoyed them on me, given me soul, we might have written to Raffle, I and you. Nay, love you did give all I ask, I think, more than I merit, yes, by many times. But had you, oh, with the same perfect brow, and perfect eyes, and more than perfect mouth, and the low voice my soul hears as a bird. The fuller's pipe and follows to the snare, had you with this the same but brought a mind, some omen do so, had the mouth there urged, God and the glory, never care for gain. The present by the future, what is that? Life for fame, side by side with Agnala. Raphael is waiting up to God all three. I might have done it for you, so it seems. Perhaps not all is as God overrules. Beside, incentives come from the soul's self. The rest avail not. Why do I need you? What wife had Raphael or has Agnala in this world? Who can do a thing will not, and who would do it cannot I perceive. Yet the wills somewhat to the power, and thus we half men struggle. At the end, God, I conclude, compensates, punishes. 'Tis suffer for me, if the award be strict. 'Tis suffer for me, if the award be strict, that I am something underrated here. Poor this long while despised to speak the truth. I dared not, do you know, leave home all day, for fear of chancing on the parish lords. The best is when they pass and look aside. But they speak sometimes. I must bear it all. Well may the speak that Francis that first time, and that long festal year at Fontainebleau, I surely then could sometimes leave the ground, put on the glory Raphael's daily wear. In that human great monarch's golden look, one finger in beard or twisted curl, over his mouth's good mark that made the smile, one arm about my shoulder, round my neck, the jingle of his gold chain in my ear. I painting proudly with his breath on me, all his court round him sing with his eyes, such frank French eyes, and such a fire of souls, profuse my hand kept playing by those hearts. And best of all, this face beyond this in the background, waiting on my work to crown the issue with a last reward. A good time was it not my kingly days? And had you not grown restless, but I know. "'Tis done and past, 'twas right my instinct said. To live the life grew golden and not grey, and I am the weak-eyed bat no sun should tempt. Out of the grants whose four walls make his world, how could it end in any other way? You could me, and I came home to your heart. The trump was to raise and stay there since I reached it early. The trump, what is lost, let My hands frame your face in your hair's gold. You beautiful Lucrezia that are mine. Raphael did this, Andrea painted that. The romance is the better when you pray, but still the other's virgin was his wife. Man will excuse me, I am glad to judge. Both pictures in your presence clearer grows. My better fortune I resolve to think. For do you know Lucrezia as God lives? Said one day Agnolo his very self. To Raphael, I have known it all these years. When the young man was flaming out his thoughts upon a place wall for Rome to see, to lift it up in heart because of it. Friend, there's a certain sorry little scarf goes up and down our Florence none cares how. Who were he set to plan and execute as you are pricked on by your popes and kings? As you are pricked on by your popes and kings, would bring the sword into that brow of yours to Raphael, and indeed the arm is wrong. I hardly dare, yet only you to see. Give the chalk here quick, thus the line should go. I but the soul. He is Raphael, rub it out. I but the soul. He is Raphael, rub it out. Still all I care for if he spoke the truth. What he? Why? Who but Michael Agnolo? Do you forget already words like those? If really there was such a chance, so lost is whether you are not grateful but more pleased. Well, let me think so. And you smile indeed. This hour has been an hour. Another smile. If you would sit thus by me every night, I should work better. Do you comprehend? I mean that I should earn more, give you more. See, it is settled dusk now. There's a stir. Morello gone. The worst lights show the wall. The cue all speak the name we call them by. Come from the window, love. Come in at last. Inside the melancholy little house we built to be so gay with. God is just. King Francis may forgive me. Oft at nights when I look up from painting, I stared out. The walls become illumined brick from brick, distinct instead of mortar, furzy bright gold. That gold of his I did cement them with. Let us but love each other, must you go? That cousin here again, he waits outside, must see you and not with me. Those loans? More gaming debts to pay? You smile for that? Well, let smiles by me. Have you more to spend? While hand and eye and something of a heart are left me, what's my wire and what is earth? I'll pay my fancy, only let me sit. The grey reminder of the evening out, idle you call it, and muse perfectly. How I could faint were I but back in France. One picture, just one more, the Virgin's face, not yours this time. I want you at my side to hear them. That is Michael Agnolo. Judge all I do and tell you of its earth. Will you tomorrow satisfy your friend? I take the subjects for his corridor, finish the portrait out of hand there, and throw him in another thing or two. If he demurs, the whole should prove enough to pay for this same cousin's freak. Beside, what's better and what's all I care about? Get you the 13 scudi for the rough. Love does that please you? Ah, but what does he, the cousin? What does he to please you more? I am grown peaceful, old age to night. I regret little I would change still less, since there my past life lies. Why alter it? The very wrong to Francis, it is true. I took his coin, was tempted, and complied. And built this house and sent, and all is fate. My father and my mother died of want. Well, I had a risk of my own. You see how one gets rich. Let each one bear his lot. They were born poor, lived poor, and poor they died. And I have labored somewhat in my time, and not been paid profusely. Some good son paint my 200 pictures. Let him try, no doubt. There's something strikes a balance. Yes, you loved me quite enough. It seems tonight this must suffice me here. What would one have? In heaven, perhaps new chances, one more chance. For great walls in the New Jerusalem, meted on each side by the angels read, for Leonard, Raphael, Agnolo, and me, to cover the three first without a wife, while I have mine. So still they overcome, because there's still Lucrezia as I choose. Again the cousin whistled. Go, my love.